Hey, Kinder Stars, it's Miss Jackson. You would think I would remember how to say that name all the time. But thanks for coming for our pre-recorded job. Happy to see you here. The job that we are going to be doing is a very colorful job, and I wanted to share The Mixed Up Chameleon, which is kind of a colorful book. Chameleons are lizards, a type of lizards, and a lot of times they tend to change color a little bit. And when I think of lizards, most lizards will eat lots of insects, and your chameleon is no exception. I was kind of thinking of Luke's leopard spotted lizard, and remembering what his little lizard eats is crickets. The chameleon loves to eat crickets and these guys right here. Bzzz. Yep, shoo fly, shoo fly, shoo fly. So thank heavens for these lizards that get rid of those pesky flies. Otherwise, we would have way too many flies, wouldn't we, in this world? All right, well, again, a very colorful book that I can't wait to share with you, The Mixed Up Chameleon, written and illustrated by Eric Carle. On a shiny green leaf sat a small green chameleon. It moved onto a brown tree, and you know what it did? It turned kind of brownish. And then he rested on a red, beautiful flower. He looked kind of reddish. And then slowly he zipped across the yellow sand, and he turned kind of yellowish. You could hardly ever see him. There's a reason why our chameleons blend into their scenery, because remember what they like to catch, to eat, okay? They can't be obvious, right? They gotta kind of sneak up on their yummies. When the chameleon was warm and happy and had something to eat in his belly, he would turn a sparkling, gorgeous green. But when he was cold and hungry, he would turn gray and dull. Sometimes you guys get like that. When you're full and your belly's all kinds of fueled up, you guys are happy. And when you get hungry, you start to get a little hangry and can get a little grumpy. When the chameleon was hungry, it sat still and he waited. Only his eyes would move around. They would move up, they would move down, they would move side to side until he spotted a fly. And then the chameleon's super long sticky tongue shot out and caught the fly. It was not very exciting, but that's what he did every day. But then one day, the chameleon saw a zoo. It had never even seen so many beautiful animals before in his life. Wow. Oh man, thought the chameleon, how small I am. I'm so dinky. Oh, I'm slow and I'm weak. I wish I could be as big and white and strong like a polar bear. Yeah, that's what I wish I was. And the chameleon's wish came true. But was he happy? Not quite. Oh man, look at that! Flamingos! They're so gorgeous! I wish I could be as handsome as a flamingo. So what did he inherit from the flamingo? Wings, and what else? What do you see, Monroe? He's got little legs. Or long legs. Man, you know what else I want to be like? I want to be smart like a fox. Just like a fox. So he's big and strong like a polar bear. He's got long legs like a flamingo. He's got a bushy tail like the fox. What does the fox say? Oh, you know what else I wish I could do? I wish I could swim. I wish I could swim like an expert fish. So he just got some fins. wish I could run like a deer. Woo! So he inherited some antlers like a deer. Beautiful antlers, mind you. Antlers are not horns because antlers are something that grow. So once a deer no longer has his antlers, if they fall off or because he's itching and they kind of come off, he'll grow more. But horns, once you lose your horn is gone for good. I wish I could see things super far, far away. Sometimes I wish that. I wish I had a long neck like a giraffe so I could see above everybody. Good idea, huh? I wish I could hide in a shell like a turtle. He's looking a little like, ah! Even Parks had to come and look at that because, oh my Lanta, if I saw an animal that looked like this, I mean, it's all the great attributes of these animals, but, oh wow, that's peculiar, which is a fancy word for when you're strange. People come out in the rain when you're strange. I want to be strong like an elephant. Uh-huh. I wish I could be funny like a seal. Wow, this chameleon is one busy looking guy. I wish I could be like people. Look how cool people are. But then, just then, bzzz, a fly flew by and the chameleon was starving. He was so very hungry. But the chameleon was all mixed up. And it was a little of this and a little of that and a little of that. And he couldn't even find the fly anymore. What is a hungry chameleon to do? I wish I could be myself again. Oh, phew. And the chameleon's wish came true. And he even caught himself a fly. I love this story because I want to tell you. There is beauty all around us. Everything is awesome. Everything is beautiful. You guys are all beautiful. Some of you guys have the most gorgeous hair, the most gorgeous eyes, the most gorgeous clothes, the most gorgeous laugh. And they're all things that absolutely make you who you are. And I know there's going to be friends that are going to admire those things. They're going to love those things about you. But that's just it. We got to love ourselves, right? We got to love ourselves, especially if we want more people to love us. If you don't love you, it's going to be really hard to have somebody to love you back. But anyway, we are all going to find each other super gnarly and super awesome and super duper cool. And guess what? We are all going to just love all of our attributes, especially when we come back into the classroom. Now, one of the jobs that we're going to be doing today is going to be a spin and color. I am going to write my name on my job because this is my job. My name is Mrs. Jackson. And on this job, I'm going to grab one of these so I have something a little hard to write on. But you're going to take a look at some of these pictures. And I want you to be as realistic as possible. Not like the mixed up chameleon. I mean, I've never seen an animal that looks like that. So that was super duper pretend. So I don't want pretend colors. I want to know what these colors, what you think that they actually are. So one thing that I want you to do is I want you to take a look and I want you to try really hard to read these color words. Okay? So I just underlined one of them, and it starts with an O. What color word has O at the beginning of it? Can anybody remember? Yes, orange. Very, very good. So I'm going to color one of my crayons orange. Okay? Just like this. Ta-da! Then I'm going to look at my next color word. And you know what? I'm going to color that part in just so that I know that I already read that word. My next color word has a Y. ya at the beginning of it? What color word has ya at the beginning of it? Yellow. Very good. The yellow submarine. Yellow submarine. All right, I'm going to color in one of those crayons right over there. Okay. Next color word has the g, een. Yes, green. Remember the big green monster. Go away, big green monster. All right. Then it's got ooh, blue. Oh, I'm missing one too. I just realized that. I'm like, wait a minute. So that's a beautiful blue. This is actually called Bluetiful. Creative Crayola. And this one that snuck up on me, we can read that one super quick. Red. Ruby red. There we go. Now, I know that we have spinners here. I'm also making you guys your own spinners. When I make your own spinners, you're going to put those on top of your job and they're completely clear. So you have your own clear spinner that is just yours that you're going to keep in your crayon box or in your soft crayon box that might be in your binder. But you're going to have your own spinner. But right now we're at home and we don't have our own spinners at home. So I really don't want to make it harder than it has to be. So out of these colors, which one is your top favorite color? Well, I know Grayson's favorite color is red. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put the number 1 on red because that's her first choice of a favorite color. Then after that, I'm just going to go in number order. So I'm going to go 1, then I'm going to go 2, then I'm going to go 3, 4, and 5. Okay? Now that I wrote those, I'm going to make them darker so that you guys can really see at home. And I do wish I had my chart so that I had something hard to write on, and I think it's on the ground over there. But you know what? I'm going to grab one of my clipboards that I'm going to talk about with tomorrow. So I'll use this really quick. So again, you guys are going to have spinners. We're going to have spinners and we're going to spin them around. But you know what? We're at home right now. And what if you can't find a paper clip? And yada, yada, yada. So instead of doing it this way, I know all of you have dice at home. And so what you're going to do is you're going to spin your dice. One thing that I got to tell you that you are going to be doing all the time here at school is you're definitely, let's see if you guys can see that really well. You're definitely going to be using dice a lot. And you're definitely going to have rules when it comes to dice. We are not throwing the dice. When you have your dice in your hand, you're going to open your hands up and you're just going to roll it and let it land. I landed on a number 1. So on my color wheel, where's my number 1? Oh, it's red. So my job is to find one thing that's red on my job. And you know what? A stop sign is certainly red. Am I right? So I'm going to color in my stop sign. Okay? And whoever you're playing with, if you want to give them a turn, you can totally give them a turn. So maybe you could put your little initial right there. So my initial is an M. So maybe I'll put an M so that way I know that this one was mine. Now let's have Mommy's turn go next. So Mommy's going to roll her dice. She's going to keep a bowl. You're going to put your bowl and then you open your bowl. And then what do we land on? 1, 2, 3. Very nice. So I gotta find my number 3 on here. Oh, there's my 3, and it's a yellow. So I have to find something that has yellow. So I'm looking orange juice. Yeah, no. This looks like a car, but it's a very specific car, and has a t sound at the beginning of it. Anybody know what those are? We talked about this before. We were kind of like, yeah, people don't really take them around here. People Uber or they take a taxi. So I will tell you, my mommy and daddy, we went to Disneyland together with my mommy and daddy, my kids. So that would be grandma and grandpa, and then Mr. Jackson and our whole family. And we were trying to convince, because we rented a house, and grandma and grandpa, they were ready to go back to the hotel room. They needed to take a little nap. And so Mr. Jackson and I were like, all right, well, we're going to call you an Uber. Okay, so you're going to meet him at the front where the Uber is. And oh my goodness, grandma and grandpa, they didn't get it. They didn't get the Uber thing at all. They were like, there was no one there to pick us up. We had to take a taxi. So funny. All right, I'm rolling again, and I keep rolling the same numbers, so I'm trying to get more exciting here. Oh, I got a 2. Now, granted, you wouldn't keep rolling. I just want to keep you guys moving on this. So if I had 2, then I need to find something green. But if I did roll that 1 like I rolled again, I would find something else that's red on here. Once they're all filled up, awesome. These are jobs that are part of our fun jobs. These are jobs that when we're in the classroom, we'll have a certain amount of time. So let's say this was a job that we were doing at our rectangle table. I will have a timer on your table. My timer looks like a little owl, and I push him in, and then I keep him on the table. Once the owl goes, bring, then you stop. Even if you only colored in 2 jobs, you stop working on that. You go and you keep this here. Make sure your name's on it so Miss Jackson can look at it. We'll read the color words together. Then you get to put it in your cubby. So when you're doing these jobs, some of our jobs are timer jobs. So you just work for a certain amount of time. And then when the time is up, you have whatever free choice job is at your table. Sometimes it's books. Sometimes it's looking at highlights magazines. Sometimes it's Legos. Sometimes it's Play-Doh. Sometimes it's slime, depending if we've made a fresh batch of slime. So keep in mind, not all jobs are going to be super duper long jobs. So while you're doing this job at home, once you've colored all of these in and you're ready to use your dice, I would set your timer on maybe your microwave or set your mom's timer on her phone. Sometimes I use my phone too. If I have more than one table that's running for timers, because I only have my 1 owl timer, but if I have 2 running at the same time, I just put my phone timer on. I leave it at the table, and when the timer goes off, we just stop. We double check, make sure our name's on it. We put away all of our supplies, and we neaten up our area. And then you get to do whatever the second job is at the table. And typically, your second jobs tend to be jobs that are like really fun, like cars or blocks or Unifix cubes, like stuff like that. All right, thanks for your time, you guys. I hope you had a great time, and I'll see you soon.